Welcome back to the Lost Artistry Lash channel. Today we're doing a full-blown assessment on our client. So when we're doing any type of assessment, we need to first check out that eye shape. So let's do that first before moving on to our next step in assessment. So she has a very even plane pretty much all the way across her eye. So she is a delight for us as the artist because we're not worrying about our map looking much different than we style it as. Like sometimes people have really open parts in the middle of their eye and then a downturned, angled outer corner. So when that happens, our mapping does look quite different on the client versus when we've actually drawn it in our map. So today we're not super worried about that. So I'm not worrying too much about mapping with the eyes open. We still are going to go ahead and do that as a part of our steps, but I'm not super concerned about any particular emphasis area for this client. Also, her eye color. Let's check this out. Her lashes are going to look so good. I'm so excited. Usually when we do any sort of lashes on a lighter lash client like this one today, and especially with a really vibrant eye color already, those eyes begin to pop like crazy. Now, when it comes to curls, I'm gonna really get in close with this one. So let's look at her natural lash lift and layers. So when we assess lash lift, we're looking at how lifted the natural lashes actually are. So a lot of times the inner corner will be lifted, the outer corner will point down, or some lashes will do funky things. So there are definitely clients who have a mix of tons of different lash lifts throughout the layers, but she has pretty evenly lifted natural lashes. So we're not really worried too much about the lashes looking more lifted once applied or more downturned once applied or anything like that. Just as she has an even planed eye, her natural lashes are just lifted enough. So whatever curl we use is going to look exactly like that curl that we put on her. So today, because we're not looking at lifting up her lashes to a point where they look really dramatic and smack against the upper part of the eye, we want to work with less curls. So we're going to do a mix of B and C curl for her. So when we're looking to see how many layers a client has, I usually get them to close their eyes and then I look from the side while lifting the lid like this. And you might have to move around your client a little bit. So we're working with about 3 layers on most parts of the eye except for the inner corner. As you can see in most spots, the inner corner, it actually extends quite far, but the inner corner only has 1, in some cases 2, but about 1 layer across that inner corner. So if we were doing a layering technique, we'd want to adjust our mappings in that inner corner, especially if we were working with, say, 3 layers. We want to take that into consideration. We do have lots of other videos on layering. I'll link one right here. Open it up in another tab, and then you can go ahead and watch it once you're finished with this video. Also, stick till the end. Once we're done our assessment, we're gonna show you the mapping that we've used for the set, as well as an after shot of the eyes. I'd love to hear what you think about it. So the last thing we're looking at, what lengths are we going to use? So when I'm deciding the lengths, of course, I want to know a lot about my client. I want to know if they're new to lashes, which today she is new to lashes. It's her first time getting lash extensions. So I don't want to terrify her by doing crazy long lengths, even though I do believe that she could handle it. If you look at the spacing between that lash line and the brow, there's quite a lot of space. So we have room to really fill that in between the lash line and the brow. But what we're gonna do is on the bottom layer, just again, I know I can go longer, but I don't wanna scare her away from lash extensions. I could probably go 14 or 15 millimeters if she was into drama. But instead of doing that, we're gonna take it easy. We're gonna start her off with 13 being the longest length. We are working with wet lashes, 0.05 diameter. Volume, of course, and if you want a tutorial on wet lashes, I'll go ahead and put it below as well. And we're gonna feather lengths throughout and work with direction as well. So we're gonna elongate and open, as I've already discussed with that squirrel/open eye mapping. And lengthwise, on the bottom layer, our longest length is gonna be 13, and we're gonna mix tons of lengths in throughout. So she's gonna get a very natural-esque, very feathered effect with her lashes, and we're still going to fill in some of that space. But on the bottom layer is where I'm going to put my 13 millimeter. The reason why is because I want to make sure that it doesn't look so crazy, and if we put it on the top layer, then we actually are going to make it look like a true 13 versus by putting it on the bottom layer, it's gonna look more like an 11, 12 just because the top layer sits so much higher than the bottom layer. Here's our map. Go ahead, take a screenshot, and if you like the set, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe, like, ring the bell, do it all if you want to keep up with our educational content.